and this is why I shouldn't be picking the intros. This topic is Square Enix.
Woo!
Suggested by Carlos himself.
Again.
Yeah, he gets to because he's Carlos and because nobody else is giving us recommendations yet. But anyway, I actually kind of wanted to cover this one since I mentioned Final Fantasy anyway. Let's see. Starting off, let's go with the main thing, just so I can get it out of the way, since everybody's going to be,
Is it one of those, elephant in the room topics, or?
Yeah, because he mentioned about Kingdom Hearts 3. I will be honest with you. I know that Kingdom Hearts 3 will be released whenever the hell it's going to be released. I don't really care for it. When it's released, I will probably play it only for the gameplay. I am not a fan of Kingdom Hearts in the sense that everybody else is. I am not emotionally invested in any of the characters since they are all bland. I am going to get a lot of hate for this. Or if people like this page, they're not really going to give me too much hate because those people are generally cool. But
hi, I'm Sora and I'm a brick. Hi, I'm Roxas and I'm a brick. Hi, I'm Axel and I'm a brick. Hi, I'm every character in Kingdom Hearts and I'm a brick and I don't do anything anymore. Hi, I'm Riku and I'm a brick.
Dude,
Hi, I'm Kairi and I'm a brick.
Calm down. Okay.
You know it's true.
No, not everybody's a brick in Kingdom Hearts. Let's see. All the characters that aren't officially Kingdom Hearts characters, like for instance, Auron, Tidus. Wait, no, Tidus was sort of a brick. Auron wasn't a brick. Most of the Disney characters weren't bricks. Axel in particular wasn't a brick. It's just Sora, as the main protagonist, you think that he wouldn't be a brick. But sadly, he's a brick. Roxas actually was somewhat interesting due to all that was wrong with him. But he was so kind of bland, but less bland than Sora. Riku was pretty bland. He was basically another Sora, only not too lazy and really, really, really try hard and dark. Because, grimdark always gets the kids interested. Kairi, however, was indeed a brick. And she was just there for boobies. It's like, hey, Sora, why are you doing this, boobies? That's actually, my motivation for half the stuff in my life, so I really can't complain too much. But Axel was interesting in my opinion because Axel sort of broke down. Axel was legitimately insane. Therefore, after seeing his best friend sort of forget who the hell he was, he just fully lost it and went on a murderous rampage. And then he... the fact that he just kind of turned around and helped Sora at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. Ooh, spoilers. Ooh, if you're watching this, you probably should be expecting that. But at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, he turns around, he actually helps Sora, and then he ends up dying. So he ends up becoming the tragic hero. However, he also tried to kill Roxas, so he's not exactly a good guy still. But the reason why he does this is because Sora resembles Roxas, which is a stupid goddamn reason. I just had to get that out of the way. Now that Kingdom Hearts is sort of done with, except that, the story is so terrible, they should probably not focus on changing protagonists and throwing yaoi bait out there every 12 seconds. Let's move on to one of their other things. Square Enix hates money, that's why they're not going to make The World Ends With You 2, but they are making some sort of iOS sequel, which isn't an official sequel, therefore. I'm probably going to end up playing it since I have iOS, because, iPhone, yay. But... it's gonna be kind of sad for me because I want one on either the Wii U or the 3DS, and I know I might be asking for a lot here, but is it really that hard to make a full-fledged sequel? I mean, The World Ends With You was one of my favorite games of all time. A lot of people are really devout fans of it and say, hey, you should make it. It's one of the, I believe it's one of the best-selling games on DS, and it's one of the highest regarded. So, it's not gonna kill you that much to make a sequel because you're making 20 goddamn things in the Kingdom Hearts franchise that they're no matter. So, now that that's done with, Final Fantasy I'll just kind of try to save for last. The reason why I played Shiny Tail in the beginning, in case I haven't already said it, have I?
No, you didn't mention it.
Alright, so Shiny Tail was a song from, this awesome anime called, I'm not even going to try to butcher the Japanese. In the English name, it is Daily Lives of High School Boys, of which...
I knew that song.
Yeah, it's produced by Square Enix, and they're actually pretty big in Japan because they publish a lot of things. If I'm to remember, they published Persona 4. Hey, check it out. Hey,
the second Rant is up. Sweet.
Yay. Persona 4 was published by Square Enix. They're just basically a publisher. However, they also developed games such as Square Enix. No, that's not a game.
They developed their own
such as the Final Fantasy, such as Final Fantasy and everything else like that.
And you are impressive.
And before I continue on with the Final Fantasy thing, Square Enix also, a lot of people don't know this for whatever retarded reason, but used to be two separate companies, which would be Square, of which worked on the Final Fantasy games, and Enix, of which worked on Dragon Quest, unless I'm screwing something up here.
But you might be right.
One sec, let me double check this.
Yeah, he's just gonna Google it. Don't worry,
so, if I am correct here, Enix did, the Dragon Quest, yeah, I was right. So, Enix did Dragon Quest, of which is one of my favorite RPG series, turns out. I love Dragon Quest 1. I haven't really played too much of Dragon Quest 2, but Dragon Quest 3 I've heard was really great. I have to pick up that one. And all of my opinions are based on Dragon Quest 8 and 9. So, and Dragon Quest 1, of which I played for the original NES as Dragon Warrior, which I love. I like that because it's sort of a traditional RPG and it sets the archetypes, but it's also really engaging. It's really fun. The music is great, and this is before Square Enix became Square Enix. Enix is one of my favorite old companies, and yeah, I know they keep on changing between Enix and Enix and Enix. You guys know what it is, and they merged in 2003. Now that I'm at the wiki, but there's that. There's totally that. And now I have to go to Final Fantasy. Oh God, let's just start in order, shall we? Yeah, Final Fantasy 1. Me and Gungnir here love.
Can I have this one? Can I have Final Fantasy? Can I?
I'll put in my opinion. Just get started. I have to close the door and get 2 liter Sprite from my fridge.
All right.
You handle this one for a bit.
All right. So, my personal feel on Final Fantasy and Gungnir's I am Gungnir. Merric said go in order, so I'm going to go in order. I personally made Final Fantasy 1 my bitch. Personally, it is my favorite Final Fantasy game in the respect that it was honestly one of my favorite RPGs of all time. It was pretty much my childhood when I first played it for the original platform. I had originally goofed and didn't know where to go, but I picked it up later on in my life, and I beat it when I was around, I don't know, like 13 or something. And then I got Dawn of Souls from good old Merric, and I made it my bitch. And now it's taken place in my heart and one of my favorite games. I've skipped over 2. 3 I kind of enjoy.
You skipped over 2?
I completely skipped over 2.
You didn't even bother playing it?
Nope, didn't even touch it. Just,
oh God.
I knew I wouldn't like it. I saw the system, and I was just like, no, can't do it. It's not the same. 3 I really liked. It's the engaging story. 4 I enjoyed mainly because of Cecil and Kane and their development as a duo.
Ooh, this is where I get to pipe in.
Go.
Final Fantasy 5. Let me take a long swig of Sprite.
Chug. Yeah, Toga and stuff like that. I'm in college.
Wonderful. Alright, so, Final Fantasy 5 is personally one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. It is the top of my list of 3, which my order goes Final Fantasy 5, Final Fantasy 9, and Final Fantasy 12. Final Fantasy 10 and 7 would be 4th and 5th respectively. But Final Fantasy 5 is my personal favorite for the intricate job system.
Oh, I love that, actually.
For the great story, of which doesn't take itself too seriously, but takes itself seriously enough so that you know that it's not, totally joking around. I know a lot of people are gonna, lash out at me for that, going oh, it's totally a joking storyline. I mean, look at that. You have a cross-dressing pirate. You have Bart, who is, just a general not giving a crap hero that is surrounded by ladies all the time. But you know what? Oh, yeah, and by the way, major spoilers. You might want to skip ahead with this if you haven't played Final Fantasy V. But one of the main party members for a while, Galuf, actually dies partway through the game. That's when you know things start, getting a bit more serious.
I actually got to that part.
Good job.
I got there.
But Galuf ends up dying, which is really, really sad, because Galuf is one of my favorite characters. All of his abilities, however, are reincarnated in his, I believe...
granddaughter.
Yeah, either it was daughter or granddaughter. Kryle. Who, therefore, the lady count is bumped up to 3. Bart is the only male character, of which makes him swagtastic. As much as I hate the word, or hate to use the word swag now, because it's starting to see resurface in popularity, it happened. So that's my opinion about Final Fantasy V. It is great. It needs to be played. It has a great story, and I'm talking about the advanced version, not the SNES version, because, okay, the PS1 version had a really crappy translation, which was so funny because one of the things is Ferris, who is the cross-dressing pirate lady. At the beginning of her life, all she could say was her name, which was Sarisa, but she kept on saying it Saris, so they named her Ferris. But that's in the original translation. That's in the official translation in the advance. In PS1, all she could say is salsa, of which makes her fat. And fat is always hilarious. And the music is really good. I need to throw that out there. Alright, Final Fantasy 6 time.
6, I think I skipped over 6. I don't really remember playing 6 at all.
Everybody was an orphan.
Oh, okay, that more or less that sums it up. Okay. Oh god.
Okay, Final Fantasy VI is widely regarded as one of the greatest Final Fantasies for multiple reasons. I never really got into it. If I sat down and played it now, I could probably get behind it.
I'd probably appreciate it if I played it now.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing it, and Locke was already one of my favorite characters because he was a smartass. And I believe he has one of the highest damage outputs of the game, late game, but I haven't researched that. I have to play it one of these days. Hey, maybe we can make it an North Beach Oz Let's Play.
Maybe! Dude,
Hey.
we have to pirate it or something.
Dude, no, piracy is illegal. That nobody pirates.
Right.
No.
I'm so sorry. I'm tired, and actually, I was playing League of Legends earlier, and a friend was playing
Son of a
Gangplank,
bitch.
and that's all I can think about now is pirates. I apologize.
Crash Racing Pirates?
No.
Alright,
I don't
then.
want to think about Ferris.
Alright, so that's Final Fantasy VI. I have to form an opinion on it by playing it more.
Yeah.
Because I played it for a bit. I didn't exactly hate it. It wasn't bad. Yeah, it's not exactly an opinion. That's more of an experience, and I want my experience to be more intricate. Like, I love how compelling the characters were, and how Kafka is a gay clown.
You leave Kafka alone. He had
I'm
his
never
reasons.
going to leave Kafka alone.
He had his-
never.
He had his reasons.
All right, thus moving on to Final Fantasy VII. Now, as I mentioned, Final Fantasy VII is my fifth favorite Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy VII is... I don't hate it.
Okay, my spiel on Final Fantasy VII, although for me it's actually my second favorite Final Fantasy game, of course, second only to the ever so amazing Final Fantasy I. Final Fantasy VII, I found out through just odd studies, is pretty much a what is this?
Don't
2012.
even.
Oh, okay. Pretty much it's like a gateway game for newbies. Because honestly,
My first RPG.
because honestly, a lot of the Final Fantasy games that I talk to only have played Final Fantasy VII, and it really pisses me off. Because I remember there was this one girl who was sitting in one of my radio shows, and I was like, "Oh, hey, you ever played Final Fantasy before?" And she's like, "Oh, I played Final Fantasy VII." And I'm like, "Oh, have you ever played Final Fantasy 1?" No.
Final Fantasy VII is a gateway drug, kids. Don't get addicted.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But honestly, as for me, I loved Final Fantasy VII. It was a really great game. I can't diss it. I just can't stand the fact that it's a gateway game. Other than that, I have no qualms with it.
Final Fantasy VII. Everybody says, or my brother kept on saying that it has a really compelling story. And I play games mostly for story, to sort of lose myself in the universe and the lore and the terminology and all that stuff.
Oh, quick spoiler, the Final Fantasy 1 story isn't really a story.
It's alright.
It's an okay story, but I just love the game anyway. Continue. I had to get that out there.
No problem. Alright, so with Final Fantasy VII, of the parts I've played, which would be I think half the first disc, which admittedly isn't much, but I have
No.
watched my brother play through a large sum of it. I don't know if that changes the experience. Maybe when you're playing, it sort of puts up an aura around everybody else, and the person who's watching gets maybe half the experience. The person that's playing gets all of it.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure how
I don't
that
know,
works.
but
let's not go there.
I know that it did get lost in one of the parts because it gave me no direction of where the hell to go. I get lost in video games often. That's my own thing. I get lost in real life too. So there's that. And with Final Fantasy VII, I don't mind it, but Cloud seems okay. If you're trying to make a dick character, make him a dick character. He asks for more money for doing the jobs of Soldier. Well, no, not Soldier.
No,
God damn it.
Avalanche, dude.
Yeah, of Avalanche. He's all like, "Oh, well, I want 1,500 gil or whatever the hell it was." And it was like, "Oh, that's me daughter's. That's me
College
daughter's college money
Fun or something.
because Barrett's a pirate. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to be racist and
Don't even.
No.
No.
All right, but it's okay then. But then all of a sudden he's giving her a flower at the beginning of the game, and then it's all like, "Oh, hey Cloud, want to know what we should do? What? Well, so that you can go visit your precious Tifa, we should allow you to cross-dress." Okay. It's no, if you're gonna make a character that's cold distant and hates everybody, you can't have him cross-dress. That's ridiculous.
It went back on itself a lot. Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's they established a sort of persona for him, and it's just oh, let me go back on that.
I'm gonna agree with you there. That's one of the reasons why I really just hate Cloud. But I love Vincent.
Oh man, Vincent is badass.
Favorite character
Valentine.
2012.
Great. Let's see. What I've played of Final
We're on
Fantasy
8 now.
VII Advent Children. No, because I'm doing many things, and I didn't include.
Advent Children isn't a game; it's a movie.
Oh well, the movie wasn't bad, and Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. That's it.
Crisis Core, you goofed.
Yeah, that one I actually kind of like. I have to play it more, and like I forgot where I got it. I know that I was like sort of getting fed up because the environments are sort of generic, but I didn't mind it. I do like Zack as a character, and I like he's basically Cloud if Cloud actually maybe smiled and took himself less seriously. And I like the hub world.
Dilly dally shilly shally.
Oh,
Advent Children reference.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
Lay feels.
But you know. Oh God!
No.
Pat's saying for us to seriously do a random.
Oh,
okay,
we'll get to it.
It's after this one. All right. So
I forgot.
Final Fantasy, Advent Children, and Crisis Core were both pretty good. Final Fantasy Advent Children I liked as a movie as well, and also like
it wasn't even a game.
Advent Children. I said I liked it as a movie.
You just said as if it was a game. Never mind. Whatever.
Whatever I said, I meant movie. But it's actually a pretty good film, and it like I was noticing a bunch of little details about it, like the fact that Cloud actually uses a goddamn Ultima weapon instead of the Buster Sword. That's saying something because everybody's gonna be watching the movie and go like, "Oh, why isn't he using Buster Sword?" And it's like Buster Sword sucks.
Honestly, it's your first weapon in the entire game. Get over it.
It's kind of like if they made a movie based on Dragon Quest 1 and you were busy using your fists, or like the goddamn bamboo pole.
Pretty much, just bamboo pole everything.
Yeah, so let's get off of Final Fantasy 7 now that we've done with that. Final Fantasy 8, everybody says it's one of the greatest Final Fantasies. I don't feel as much. I feel that the story kind of sucks. Okay, the story up until the end of Disc 1 was pretty good. More spoilers. When Squall gets impaled, that's when I was just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And it just got less serious. And that sparks this one theory, which is the Squall is in a coma theory.
Sparked a war.
Oh god. The Squall is in a coma theory, although it might be true, honestly, I feel it could go either way. Oh god, a leaf just blew in. That's not gonna
leave.
So, alright. The theory is basically after Disc 1, he is in a coma or he is dead and he's experiencing the afterlife. Now, things that help prove this theory are the fact that afterwards, of course, all of his members, including Zeldinct, Selphie, whatever the hell her last name was, and just everybody else would have probably died because, Ultimecia or whatever the hell her name was. It was like Eden, I think.
I don't even know.
Whatever her original name was.
I didn't touch Final Fantasy VIII, I'll tell you that.
Well, she would end up killing everybody because, she's evil. That's what evil people do. So, to help prove this, if you look closely in one of the graveyard scenes, well, you're just kind of going past the graveyard. I think this is second disc near the beginning. You actually see Zell's Kineas's coat and Zell's seed uniform, and I think you also see Squall's gunblade. I'm not sure about that last one, but I remember seeing the coats and something else. I know there was something that helps prove that they may be dead, but a bunch of other stuff. It's people form this theory. It could actually exist. I'm not much for video game theories, I will be honest with you, but this could be plausible. However, that also might mention that the headmaster of the school or the person that funded the school is a giant ass blob monster that lives in the B1 floor. Pretending everything is a dream does not substitute for a story, folks.
We're on seriously 20 minutes, man.
Oh god damn.
What do you even do? We're only on 8. We have a crap ton more to go.
Okay, we need to hurry this up.
We need to stop this.
Okay, Final Fantasy 8, said my opinions. Final Fantasy 9, one of my favorite Final Fantasies, good atmosphere, good music, led to one of my favorite themes in the game, which is the boss theme as well as the
It also led to the first outro,
theme.
I'll have you know.
Yeah, the metal version was the first outro.
Yeah.
Really like that one. I wish I could talk about it more, but whatever. Final Fantasy 10, I like it.
It was okay in my opinion.
Yeah, the music was pretty good. The voice acting sometimes is unbearable. Although Joe DiMaggio did a really good job.
Oh yeah.
Gotta hand it to him.
High five to him.
I think everybody else besides Tidus did a good job.
Oh yeah.
And Tidus's laugh, of which I refuse to play, and it haunts my ears. And whenever I decide to zone out, it just haunts me. I think we're gonna skip past Final Fantasy 11 since nobody really played it. That was the online one.
Yep.
However,
skip 11.
I'll just substitute with Dissidia, which is not so bad fighting games. If you're into the Final Fantasy stuff, then you will love the Dissidia games, obviously, because
Agreed.
Dissidia. Or you would just simply pick the one character you like and kick everybody's ass at it, of which I do.
I do that. I'll admit
Is
it.
that? Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VIII. I have to mention. Also had Laguna, one of my favorite characters. However, Laguna cannot save a game. Final Fantasy XII. That was one of my favorites. It was sort of a weird Final Fantasy because you played, or it wasn't exactly turn-based, although it was so kind of turn-based. And
Vossler. Favorite side character 2012.
It really threw me for a loop too when Tidus' brother dies at the beginning.
Yeah.
And hey, check it out, it's not a spoiler. It happens at the beginning. Yeah.
Beginning, yeah.
Final Fantasy 13. Everybody says it's one of the best Final Fantasies. Everybody says how great it is. I think it's an interactive cutscene, hallway. Everything that I can say about it has been said. Final Fantasy 13 2. Meh.
Never touching it.
I might play it just because it has, or just because it says that it brings
No.
back a job system.
No.
Okay, then he refuses to play it.
Doesn't exist.
I'll be just. Let's play. We'll never
Nope.
have that.
No.
Final Fantasy 13 3 Lightning Story isn't out yet, but I have low hopes for it.
What is this? No.
Final Fantasy,
Square, stop with Final Fantasy 13. What are you doing?
Final Fantasy
No.
Tactics Advanced. Like it.
Oh yeah, it was a beautiful game.
Both Final Fantasy Tactics. I like them. I like those scraps. Let's see. I think that's about it.
That's it?
I'm trying to think of anything else having to do with Square Enix.
Well, I'm done. I have nothing. I got honestly nothing.
Oh, Zaz or whatever his name is, the dude with the chocobo living in his fro. Everybody should refer to that as the Frocobo.
Frocobo.
That is the end.
Frocobo
Okay.
2012.
Outro. Let's go.
For you 7 fans, I honestly thought of this. We'll throw you all for a loop. And with our final goodbyes.
I don't even.
2012. Frocobo 2012.
I'll